You're telling me they shot you with a revolver in your eye?
Yeah, and that's
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a
If
revolver.
they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. It was most likely you'd be dead.
Can a human being shot in the eye stay unhinged by the pain? Or should we say, is it inhumane to have a victim or a culprit questioned before getting him help?
Ryan?
I don't, man. I really don't.
The whole story is about how the 18-year-old Ryan had a bullet pierced into his skull and was taken to custody.
I want to go back to sleep and try to go back to bed.
You're not going.
This would sound too bizarre to you all. But what's more bizarre is he ended up dead due to this. Yes, you heard it right. Can you imagine a young man with a beautiful journey in front of him falling to a disastrous fate because few adults didn't understand the gravity of an issue? Well, for a fact, Ryan Waller, who was born on February 12, 1988 in Maricopa County, Phoenix, Arizona, has been a hardworking lad. He had a girlfriend named Heather Kwan. Little did the duo know that their sweet home would turn into a crime scene soaked in blood. Ryan and Heather were excited to have dinner on a fateful Christmas day in 2006. Heather looked gorgeous, and she has been itching to have this sweet get-together for a long time. However, destiny had something else in store. Ryan's ex-roommate, Richie Lee Carver, and his father Larry Lloyd Carver, who wasn't invited for the dinner that day, suddenly appeared out of nowhere. While the couple thought it would be a sweet little reunion, within a matter of a few minutes, all those who were gathered in the room had their lives changed forever one way or the other. Richie and Larry were uninvited guests, and they didn't appear at their door looking pleasantly. They resorted to violent means and broke into their home. Before grasping the truth about the situation, Carver planted a bullet on their skulls. While Heather got hit in the head, Ryan was hit in the face. Heather fell to the ground and gasped for breath. As she was struggling, it seemed that the killers might have rejoiced her helplessness with pleasure. Without waiting too long, the poor soul departed from this world.
What happened to Heather?
Heather got shot.
Where did she get shot?
Inside the face once.
Shot inside of the face?
Ryan, on the other hand, was miraculously saved and was clinging to life with some drastic injuries. As the bullet tore through his skull, Ryan's world plunged into darkness. But this was just the beginning of his difficult journey. Although this might sound a little pleasant with Ryan escaping a probable death now, things took a drastic turn soon. Ryan still had a chance to make it, but he was pushed to the abyss, albeit death due to the police misconduct. The harrowing tale makes us all wonder whether justice still exists in this world.
Put your legs down. Bring your face closer.
Oh, my head hurts.
Ryan Walker's had a chance of coming back to life, but how did this innocent teenager find himself in the crosshairs of such unimaginable violence? When Ryan kept on telling that he was shot in the eye, all that the detective did was mock him and say that he wouldn't be talking if he really was shot using a real gun.
You wouldn't be talking to me right now. It was most likely you'd be dead.
This bullet apparently punctured his brain, bone, sinus, and the impact was spreading further with every passing minute. Due to his pain, Ryan kept on telling the detective that he wanted to go back to bed. However, he threw words of mockery at him and pushed him to a painful death. How cruel does that sound to you all? Now, talking about the people who shot him and his girlfriend. The criminal had an argument with Ryan in the past, and he did what he did to get back at him. Ryan was shot twice in his eye when he was trying to open the front door. When the police arrived, Ryan somehow mustered the will to let the police know that he had no idea who shot him. Instead of rushing him to the hospital, he was forced to sit in the patrol car for 4 hours. Around 5 in the morning, he was still held in the interrogation room without giving medical attention.
Man.
The poor soul was handcuffed to the table and was groaning in pain for way longer than expected. All he could do was take the pain and struggle helplessly. The detectives didn't even show an ounce of humanity and started the interrogation. The first question he was asked was, "Have you seen any cop show to understand how the process works?" If this isn't cruelty, then what else is? He kept saying, "I don't know," to all the questions which were directed to him. It was all due to an evident pain of having a freaking bullet in his skull. Now the detective would have easily understood that something was off. Despite him showing such signs, all he did was raise his voice slightly and ask him questions further. After a few minutes, he didn't even know what happened to his face, and he thought it was Heather who shot him.
What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you. Do you remember who hit you?
I think it was Heather.
Why would Heather hit you?
It was an accident. I forgot why.
His brain memory was messed up by this time. She was helping Christina with her hair, I don't know. Here, we can see that Ryan is talking about another person being in the home with them during the time of the incident. However, there was no such person present at home during that time. This was a classic case of traumatic brain injury. Now, if Heather was his girlfriend, he would have shattered upon hearing the detective say that she was dead.
There's a dead girl in your living room.
She's dead?
Yes.
Heather?
But all he asked was, "The girl on the couch is dead?" He didn't show any sign of grief. All he did was look confused. After a few minutes, he seemed to have a bit of memory in there, and he told the police that Richie and his dad broke into the house and threw darts at him and Heather. Ryan said that they were there to retrieve their stuff. We are not sure what that might be. Not too long after, Ryan remembered about the revolvers and told the detective that Richie and his dad had 2 revolvers. His memory being in bits and struggling to answer was all clearly indicating that he was struggling both mentally and physically. Imagine if you were in his shoes. How painful and traumatic would have been the whole situation. It's miraculous that Ryan even remembered those criminals' names and even somehow figured out the sequence of events. Remember that he still had a bullet in his skull. That might be a reason why the cop didn't even care to listen to Ryan's side of the story. In the initial footage, he was seen trying to get himself out of the cuff and maybe asleep. Through the interrogation, he showed a messy and confused side of him. Even when the detective was summarizing the whole interrogation, he stated that Ryan was all over the place. Even at that fraction of a second, the detective didn't care to look into things further. It was Ryan who was shot first.
So you got shot first? And what happened?
However, he was still alive and breathing, and he survived it. But what was it all for? To go through pain and struggle further? At one point, Ryan stated that he called 911 to help Heather. But then, he also said that he let Heather sleep. The detective stated that he should in fact start telling the truth even at the end of the interrogation. In the end, the detective considered his story and checked his head. After almost an hour of interrogation, he was in fact sent to hospital. The doctors stated that due to delay in getting the medical treatment, he had an infection developed in the brain which ruled out any possibility of a surgery. As the dust settled after the brutal home invasion, it became clear that the Phoenix Police Department made a number of errors and assumptions. The authorities wasted valuable hours interviewing the severely injured young man, threatening his life even more. These mistakes not only hampered the inquiry, but they also had a negative influence on Ryan Waller's health, since he was denied timely medical care. A young man lost his life because of negligence, and it's no joke. When they finally understood that the one sitting in front of them was the victim and not the criminal, so much time had passed. The bullet pierced into his skull and made him blind. With every passing minute, his health deteriorated. Against all odds, Ryan clung to life as paramedics rushed him to the hospital. Every beat of his heart became a testament to his unyielding spirit, and the medical team battled to save him. Following the interrogation, he was taken to emergency. However, he was plagued by seizures one after another. Seizures became a haunting reality, looming over his existence. After fighting bravely for quite some time, he finally departed this world in January 2016, after spending 56 days at hospital. In a world that often fails to protect its most vulnerable, the story of Ryan Waller stands as a chilling testament to the harrowing consequences of negligence and corruption. The dismissal of the Waller family's lawsuit against the Phoenix Police Department and the city of Phoenix further fueled suspicions. The Waller family vowed to fight relentlessly for the truth. Their quest for justice transcended legal barriers. Even as their lawsuit was dismissed, their resolve remained unbroken, their hope burning fiercely. Ryan Waller's journey from victim to suspect and the subsequent quest for justice is a haunting reminder of the flaws within our society's institutions. As we navigate a world where darkness and corruption sometimes prevail, the Waller family's unwavering determination to expose the truth serves as a beacon of hope. Ryan's story stands as a call to action, urging us to demand accountability, fight against injustice, and ensure that no more lives are lost in the shadow of negligence and corruption. In the end, the preparators received a ruling of life in prison as the punishment. What do you think really happened that day, and what might have been the reason for this tragedy? Do let us know your speculations and opinions in the comments section. May the deceased souls rest in peace. If you have liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to see such content. Until next time, stay safe. See you all.